Super wide.
Okay. Whoops. Am I loud? I feel like I'm loud. Hello. Good afternoon. So, recently we've had some issues with our oxygen canisters being carried around, being in places they're not supposed to be, and generally not being used in a safe manner. And so we need to talk about this. I know there were a few people who were in a building when an oxygen canister exploded. Who has been? Holly's, where is Holly?
She was with patients, so I don't know.
She's with patients, okay. So an oxygen canister is compressed air, an E-tank, one of those E-tanks is compressed air. As soon as there is a small crack in it, that compressed air, it becomes like a missile. It shoots it out, and those canisters will go through block walls. They'll go through these walls, they go through filing cabinets, they go through desks, they'll go through chairs, and they will take limbs off. That's why it is so, so, so important. We do not carry them in our arms. You drop one of those, and you won't have legs.
Oh my gosh.
You put it in a carrier. Don't ever carry it without a carrier. Always keep it in the carrier, and it's got to be in. You know, when we're done with it, when the empty ones go on either side. You guys know where the empties are? On both sides, and the full ones go in the nurse function rooms. Each nurse function room has 12. So keep getting them, and if you have troubles, the carriers are usually end up, if you don't have any carriers with the full, they're usually over here with the empties, because people cart them over here and then leave them there. If you carry an E-tank over there, bring the carrier back. That would be great, back to the full, so other people can find it and bring the full. But just because you're in a hurry, doesn't mean that you can pick it up and bring it to the patient and put it in their wheelchair. If you need to put it in the back of the patient's wheelchair, in the carrier, in the sling, bring the patient back into the area back there. Bring the wheelchair back there, and so that you're carrying it the least distance possible. Put it in a carrier, bring it out to the patient, and put the oxygen tank into their carrier. It's just so, so important. And I want you guys to be safe and to be healthy. I want everybody to keep all their limbs. So here is a video of what happened. Wait a minute.
It's playing from your laptop.
Huh?
It's playing only from your laptop.
Yeah, I see that.
Actually, my soap's the name of it.
The following slides were taken as a part of an investigation involving an explosion of an E-cylinder of oxygen. The explosion occurred in the maintenance area of a home care company. As the story goes, the cylinder valve was defective and would not open. The maintenance worker attempted to loosen the valve to a point that would allow the oxygen to leak out of the cylinder gradually. Okay, so the first set of slides here is the wrench the gentleman was using to take the valve off the cylinder. This just shows the valve fitting on the cylinder. This is a chain vise he was using to hold the cylinder on the workbench. And when the cylinder exploded, just ripped the chain right off the vise. And the cylinder bounced around. Here it hit the workbench. You can see the workbench is pretty much damaged here. And this item on the workbench just happens to be the gentleman's watch that was ripped completely off his arm, and his arm was severed completely between the elbow and the wrist. This is where his severed arm landed. And this is a picture of where the cylinder valve and cylinder landed. Close-up of the cylinder valve shows the markings of where the adjustable wrench was on the valve. You can see, if you look a little closer, you can see that the force of the explosion was so hot that it melted the cylinder valve on the inside of the tank. This is a piece of shrapnel from the top of the cylinder. This is another piece of shrapnel from the top of the cylinder. You can see it's pretty much flattened. Remember, this is an E cylinder, showing how sharp the edges are. This again is the cylinder itself. Looking down inside the cylinder. And where did the top of the cylinder go? Well, it embedded itself in the pegboard on the wall across the room. The explosion was so hot that it melted the inside of the top of the cylinder, and it also melted the threads where the cylinder valve attached.
Okay. All right, so how do we carry an E-cylinder?
Carrier.
Carrier, that's right. Do we carry it any distance at all? Oh, the patient's right over there.
No.
No, 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 no. Again, these things become missiles. They explode, they will go. Sue Phillips saw one in an ICU explode. They all had to jump on top of beds. Luckily, it didn't come off the floor. But it went through a desk, a file cabinet, two walls that were like this. And the only thing that stopped it was the lead-lined wall. So it is compressed air, and they are very, very dangerous. It's probably the most dangerous thing we have in this building. And so it's you know, when I see them sitting in the corner of a room without and not being in a carrier, it just, you know, we don't want anything to happen. Definitely don't want anything to happen. All right. Did everybody sign the sign-in? Where's the sign-in? Okay. All righty. Good deal. Any questions about anything else, since we have a few minutes still to sign in? If you've signed the sign-in, you're welcome to go, unless you want to ask me questions.
Short, sweet.